Have you ever felt lost in a jumble of thoughts, feeling overwhelmed by the constant chatter in your mind? I can relate to that because I've experienced it too. It's like an endless flow of ideas, worries, and memories that can push us in different directions. Our thoughts are strong, and they influence our emotions and actions, sometimes without us even knowing it. Each thought carries a unique energy, influencing how we feel at any given moment. A simple memory can evoke feelings of joy or nostalgia, while a future scenario might trigger anxiety or excitement. Our thoughts have a strong influence on how we feel, and they shape how we see the world around us. But there's something important to know. When we don't pay attention to our thoughts, we might act impulsively and then feel sorry about it later. It's like we're not fully in control of what we do. This cycle of reacting to our thoughts can really affect how we feel and how we relate to others. Feeling like this all the time can make us stressed, anxious, and distant from who we truly are. It's like we're stuck in our own minds and our thoughts control us like we're prisoners. But fear not. There's a way to break free from this cycle, to reclaim our inner peace and live with greater awareness. It all begins with understanding the nature of thoughts and learning how to respond mindfully. Thoughts are like visitors to the library of our minds. They come and go, browsing through the shelves of our experiences, beliefs, and memories. Some thoughts whisper gently, while others shout for attention. Not all thoughts are accurate, and many can be distorted by our biases and emotions. Negative thoughts, in particular, can be like loud critics, constantly questioning and judging everything around us, including ourselves. We may try to shut them out or suppress them, but that only fuels their persistence. Reacting to thoughts without awareness is like following a GPS blindly without checking if it's guiding us in the right direction. It's time to put ourselves in the driver's seat. Mindfulness is the key to breaking free from the shackles of reactive thoughts. It's about observing our thoughts without judgment or attachment, becoming an impartial observer. When a thought comes to our mind, we have the power to not react immediately. Instead, we can recognize the thought and let it go. Just like a cloud drifting across the sky. By choosing not to react right away, we give ourselves the chance to experience emotional freedom and peace. We don't have to let every passing thought control us. We can take charge of our own minds. Emotions and thoughts are a natural part of who we are, but they don't have to define us completely. By being mindful and not reacting impulsively, we can find a sense of balance and control over our inner feelings. Cognitive flexibility is our passport to a more constructive thought process. It's the art of reevaluating and reframing our thoughts, turning negatives into positives and challenges into opportunities. When we embrace cognitive flexibility, we empower ourselves to see the world in new ways. We become architects of our thoughts, designing a more positive and compassionate reality. Understanding the nature of thoughts. My dear friends, thoughts are like threads that create the world within us. They come from many different places and join together to form the complex pattern of our minds. From the moment we wake up until we go to sleep, thoughts are with us, influencing how we see things, how we feel, and what we do. They come from our experiences, our beliefs, and everything we come across in our daily lives. Imagine this. You're strolling through a park on a beautiful sunny day. Out of the blue, a friendly dog comes up to you, wagging its tail and looking at you with sparkling eyes. Now, in that moment, your mind starts to conjure thoughts about dogs. Perhaps pleasant memories of your childhood pet, or maybe a fear of dogs due to a past unpleasant encounter. These thoughts emerge almost effortlessly, and they have the power to color your experience, influencing your emotions and shaping your behavior. But here's the key revelation. Not all thoughts are entirely accurate or helpful. Yes, you heard that right. Our thoughts can be subject to biases, distortions, and emotions. Sometimes they can be like a funhouse mirror, reflecting a distorted version of reality, leading us astray from the truth. Sometimes we have certain biases because of things that happened to us before, the way society influenced us, or even how we're feeling at the moment. These biases can affect how we see things and make us look at the world in a certain way. It's like we're wearing colored glasses that change how we understand situations. Take, for instance, a job interview. You might be fully qualified for the position, yet a single negative thought, perhaps about a minor mistake you made in the past, can snowball into a wave of self-doubt, potentially sabotaging your confidence and performance. But fear not. Awareness is the first step towards understanding the nature of our thoughts. By recognizing that our thoughts may not always reflect objective reality, we can begin to untangle the web of biases and emotions that entwine them. It's essential to approach our thoughts with a sense of mindfulness and open-mindedness. We can learn to observe them without immediate judgment or action, like a curious observer watching clouds pass by in the sky. So let's take this opportunity to become more aware of our thoughts. Let's challenge ourselves to examine them with a discerning eye and embrace the wondrous complexity of our minds. The cycle of reacting to thoughts. Have you ever found yourself feeling overwhelmed or anxious for no apparent reason? Well, chances are you're caught in the web of automatic reactions to your thoughts. You see, our minds are like a constant chatterbox, producing thousands of thoughts each day. Most of the time, we're not even consciously aware of these thoughts coming and going. But here's the tricky part. These thoughts can sneakily influence our emotions and behavior. Imagine your mind as a sky full of thought clouds. Each cloud represents a thought, constantly forming and vanishing. Now, when we aren't mindful of these thoughts, it's like being swept away by strong winds, causing us to react impulsively without understanding the underlying cause. It's essential to grasp the connection between thoughts and emotions. You see, our thoughts and emotions are deeply intertwined. They have an inseparable bond. A single thought can trigger a domino effect of emotions, setting off a cascade of reactions. Let me illustrate this with an example. Imagine you receive an email from your boss requesting a meeting. The thought, "I have a meeting with my boss," might trigger a sense of anxiety or worry. Now, this initial emotion might lead to further thoughts like, "What if I'm in trouble? Or did I do something wrong?" Thus, amplifying the emotional response. The incredible part is that this happens automatically and so swiftly that we often don't recognize the process occurring in our minds. We all experience various thought patterns, but some are more common and detrimental than others. Let's shed some light on these negative thought patterns and how they can impact our mental health and daily lives. One common negative thought pattern is catastrophizing, where we blow things out of proportion and imagine the worst possible outcomes. Another is black and white thinking, where we see situations as either all good or all bad, without considering the nuances in between. These thought patterns can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and even hinder our ability to make rational decisions. They can become a significant obstacle to our well-being and personal growth. The impact of these negative thought patterns on our mental health and daily life should not be underestimated. They can create a vicious cycle where negative thoughts fuel negative emotions, and negative emotions, in turn, generate more negative thoughts. This roller coaster of emotions can lead to chronic stress, affecting our physical health, relationships, and overall happiness. We might find ourselves withdrawing from social situations, doubting our abilities, and feeling trapped in a cycle of negativity. But fret not. There is hope, and there are effective ways to break this cycle and regain control of our minds. Understanding the cycle of reacting to thoughts is the first step towards regaining our mental clarity and emotional well-being. It's time to be more mindful of our thoughts, to recognize negative patterns, and to challenge them. If you resonate with any of the negative thought patterns we discussed today, don't worry, you're not alone. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's start a conversation and support each other on this journey of self-discovery.